Your red wrigglers don't live in kitchen scraps, they live in bedding. Get this wrong and you will have composting worms that try to escape or die. Get it right and they will create worm castings with very little maintenance. Here's the bedding you should get and how to prepare it. Hi, Carol from Almost 2 Acres. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your worms in their own condo so they don't bother yours. Let's go.
Let's understand what it is. Bedding is the worm's habitat. Food scraps are just food. Bedding is where they live, reproduce, and process waste. Here is what bedding does. It provides structure and living space. It holds moisture at the right level. It maintains air pockets for oxygen. It absorbs excess liquid. It gives worms something to burrow through. It provides carbon to balance nitrogen from food. Here's what you need for bedding. Carbon-rich, absorbent materials that create fluffy texture when moistened. Think brown materials, not green materials. Brown equals carbon. Green equals nitrogen. Here are your options from most common to specialty materials. Number 1, shredded cardboard and newspaper. This is your best choice. This is your primary bedding material. Use the following torn or shredded into 1 to 2 inch strips. Plain brown cardboard boxes and newspaper. It can be black and white or colored ink because modern inks are soy-based and safe. You should avoid these though. Glossy cardboard, heavily printed cardboard, waxed boxes, and tape and labels. Why these are best? They're free or nearly free. They are highly absorbent. These are both perfect carbon sources. The combination creates great texture, and they're both readily available. Number 2, coconut coir is the premium option. These are compressed blocks that expand when wetted. They are absorbent and hold moisture well. They have a neutral pH. Coir breaks down slowly. It creates excellent texture for castings, and 1 brick completes a whole bin. It will cost you about $8 to $12 per brick. Coir is a great option if you don't have access to cardboard or want consistent results. Number 3 is peat moss. It works, but it's less sustainable. It's similar to coir, but environmentally questionable. It is very absorbent. Peat has an acidic pH. You may need to add crushed eggshells to balance it. Harvesting peat damages wetland ecosystems. This is the reason to use coir instead if possible. Number 4 is shredded leaves. This is a good addition. You should run leaves through a shredder or mower first. There are advantages. They are free if you have trees or like to search boulevards for bags of them in the fall. Leaves are a good carbon source. Avoid using only leaves because they compact too much. A decent mix is 30 to 40% leaves with cardboard or paper. Fall leaves work great mixed into bedding. Here is what not to use. Glossy or coated paper. Colored paper with heavy ink coverage. Dryer lint because synthetic fibers don't break down. Sawdust from treated wood. Cedar or pine sawdust because oils can harm worms. Anything with chemicals or toxins. Before moving on, please take a moment to like this video and make a comment if you like. If you decided to think about coconut coir for your bedding, there's an affiliate link below for you to check it out. Now let's move on to preparing the bedding. Here's the process. I'm using shredded cardboard and newspaper, the most common setup. Step 1, gather your materials. Fill a large bucket or container with dry bedding material. You want enough to fill your bin about 3/4 full when it's fluffed up. For a 10-gallon bin, this would be roughly 8 to 10 gallons of dry material before wetting. Step 2, add water. Add water gradually while mixing. You're aiming for the consistency of a wrung-out sponge. Do the squeeze test. Grab a handful of bedding, squeeze it hard. A few drops should come out, but it shouldn't drip. If it drips heavily, it's too wet. Add dry bedding. If there's no drips, it's too dry. Add more water. This is critical. Worms breathe through their skin, which must stay moist. Too dry and they die. Too wet and they drown or the bin goes anaerobic. Most beginners make bedding too wet. Start conservative. You can always add water later. Step 3, fluff and load. Mix the bedding thoroughly to distribute moisture evenly. Fluff it up to create air pockets. Load it into your working bin. It should look light and airy, not compacted. Fill to about 3/4 full. Leave room at the top for adding food and more bedding later. Step 4. Add grit. Add 1 to 2 handfuls of regular garden soil, finished compost, or sand. Because worms don't have teeth, they use grit in their gizzard to grind up food just like chickens do. Without grit, they can't process food efficiently. Garden soil also introduces beneficial microorganisms that help break down organic matter. Step 5. Add initial food. Bury 1 to 2 cups of chopped food scraps in one section of the bedding. Not too much, just something to get the microbial activity started. Cover it completely with bedding. Step 6. Let it rest. Let the bin sit for 24 to 48 hours before adding worms. Why wait? Because it allows temperatures to stabilize. It lets microbes start breaking down food. It gives bedding time to settle. It ensures moisture is evenly distributed. Check it after 24 hours. If the bedding feels dry, spray with water. If it's too wet, add dry bedding and mix. There are 2 things you should monitor in your bedding. The first is the moisture level. Check it weekly by squeezing a handful and adjust as needed. Is it too wet? Add dry, shredded cardboard or paper. Is it too dry? Spray with water or add moist food scraps. The second is pH level. Worms prefer neutral to slightly acidic pH. That's 6.5 to 7.0. Most bedding materials are naturally in this range. You'll rarely have issues with basic setups, but should watch for signs the pH is off. Here's some troubleshooting. Are the worms clustering at the surface trying to escape? Do the worms seem sluggish or stressed? Are there unusual smells? If so, here's how to adjust. If it's too acidic, add crushed eggshells, garden lime, or shredded newspaper. If it's too alkaline, add coffee grounds or peat moss. This would be a rare problem. Honestly, I've never had to adjust pH with a basic cardboard newspaper bedding. It self-regulates pretty well.
Your bin is now ready for vermicomposting. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to set the worms up and what to get, and then how to feed them too. Don't forget to watch the whole series. Until next time, let's start creating worm garden gold.